welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL One Katowice offline qualifiers. This is the qualifiers for the majors. And 5 teams have already made it there. One more will be joining them after this match concludes. It is, of course, Anders alongside me. And this match will be Team Dignitas, who we just saw pretty comprehensively beating down their opponent's ESC. Bit of rivalry there, for sure. And of course, it's going to be a veto coming up in a moment against Vox Eminor, who kind of surprised a lot of people by really, dispatching 3D Max quite easily.
Yeah, so, I mean, normally I would counsel against using chain logic, which is, team A beat team B, and then so they must be able to beat the next team up the line. But actually, because Vox did pretty well against 3D Max, although 3D Max not quite at full strength, and I think it could have been different and all that stuff. Actually, I feel a little bit different about this game now. I feel like maybe this could be a really, really fun game.
Well, we're pretty sure they're going to take Vox away from Mirage. I mean, while Dignitas did just win on Mirage, they were far from comfortable on that map, it seemed.
Yeah, but they could end up wanting to play a lot of the same maps, essentially. Okay. So, I don't know. I think we'll have to see here.
Well, you can see, of course.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that
Havoc's magnificent beard that I've seen every single pro player tweeting about that's got a slow...
I think you can tell that the Dignitas like Fetish and Pimmy, they're actually physically intimidated, which I actually don't blame them.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, without being too rude, I'm pretty sure Pim couldn't grow anything like that. I mean, I don't think I could grow anything like that either. And I can grow a beard pretty good. And you've got a beard, man. Yeah. You must be really envious of that thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I had no idea how he's done it here. Well, Matt Vito progressing really quickly. We're down to Inferno and Dust too, and
it's gonna be Inferno.
And Inferno, yeah.
Third time, we've seen it. LGB, of course, got 2 victories on it already at this event. They've got themselves qualified through to the finals. And we'll see how it works.
Look at all those handshakes, man. They've got it down. They understand how that works, which is
I
impressive.
don't know what you mean, Anders.
Well,
maybe they're just good sports.
It could be. Maybe they've been practicing out the back.
I think everybody has been practicing out the back apart from me.
Can we? I mean, ESL should hire someone to instruct people on that. New job title.
Why try and shake my hand when I've got a microphone here? Honestly, Peter, really, this is never going to get away from either of us, I don't think. But
Sean Gaz tried to reenact it.
It was quite good, actually. It was quite a good reenactment. But I still think Corey Dunn and Crims have the mantle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that was the best one so far. ESWC. We'll see how it goes. We've got a major coming up. There's plenty of handshakes to happen, but
that could be its own highlight reel at some point.
Inferno is the map. So what do we think from this one? How do we see this one going overall? I mean, Team Dignitas, obviously, they're with their new organization. They only joined Team Dignitas in February. This is, if you guys haven't been following the scene so closely, obviously the old Team Dignitas scene, they moved off. They became Team Solo Mid. Carrigan joined them. Fetish stayed with Team Dignitas. And the Copenhagen Wolves guys came across apart from that one man. And now, of course, well, they're up against Vox Eminor, who a lot of people... I mean, even the odds at CSGO Lounge were like 70, 80% against them for the 3D match game.
Yeah, that's true.
They came out and really... Wow. A 9-month bid? That's really impressive.
Dedication right there. And if they've put the same dedication into Counter-Strike, then, really good stuff. I don't know. I actually think Inferno is a pretty good map for Vox. I remember seeing them playing it at DreamHack Winter and also at Katowice last time around, and they were actually pretty good. So I don't see why not. Oh yeah, Dignitas just advancing on from the bracket indeed. I have this weird feeling that Vox might be just a step above right now. I think we mentioned in the last game that in some senses Dignitas are a team that are still forming. They're still coming together as a team, and they haven't had quite enough time. So this is like, it is trial by fire at this point. You're just being thrown into it, and it's either win or you end up not qualifying.
I know Sponge came into the side room a moment ago, just after that match, and he used a few choice words, but basically it was along the lines of, if we lose to another eco, I am going to go fairly mental, I think was the words that I couldn't use on stream. But yeah, he was not happy about that game, even though they won 16-11 over 3D Max. We just saw their scores, but yeah, it's always the thing. Is like, while you get victories, there's always things you want to improve in your game, and that's obviously why these guys, they're competitive beasts. You know, they need that arrogance in their game to compete at this highest level. Of course, they are the sole representative of the oceanic scene over here. They have been dominating the scene, but lately they have started to slip their dominance over in Australia.
Yeah, and there's been a lot more different oceanic tournaments going on as well.
Avant-Garde's been testing them a few times, I think, over there, yeah.
And I know Faceit have started making matchmaking services. Their ESC have done the same thing. So, you know, it's slowly growing. You know, we just need like a main, like a really, really thick fiber line going all the way down to Australia so they can play the same ping as the rest of us, and it'll be perfect.
The biggest problem with Australia is it's literally miles away from anywhere, and the place is huge. It's a gigantic country and miles away. And even when you go over to the likes of Korea, Singapore, and you're like, I just need to go to Australia. It's another, 9-hour flight? What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not right.
I can't believe it. But you're right. That is a really big problem that it's really hard to gap, which is also why it's so cool that they're here. One of the things we do need, I mean, we can't make a game title called Global Offensive and then not have international
global
teams joining. Yeah, you need that. Obviously, the big frontier that we're still missing is the Asian scene a lot more.
Well, let's not forget that obviously the last major with Vox, a lot of people were, pulling them down because obviously they were invited to the majors, and it was just like, well, they don't deserve the spot. But they've just gone and beat 3D Max. If they're going to dispatch of Team Dignitas, they absolutely deserve that spot. They've already proven that they are a very good team.
Yeah, they take it very seriously without a doubt. So I'm actually looking forward to this match quite a bit. And Inferno, the ultimate best of one map, so it's likely to be a very close game, I think. But based on what we've seen so far today, I might call it just a tiny bit in favor of Vox.
Vox, yeah.
I feel for some reason I feel like they might have it here.
I'm not sure how much we could read into that last match. I mean, while Pimp did drop some big scores, obviously Fetish didn't, but I think it was slightly fueled, that last match, on a little bit of hatred in there that maybe got to some players and not the others, but Vox certainly seemed to give this one. They've been here obviously since, I think it was Friday they came in, Thursday, Friday, and they've been relaxing, I think is the cleanest way I can say it, over the last few days.
They've been relaxing, absolutely true Danish style, without a doubt. Now, I don't know, I mean, is there a better fuel than hatred for playing these games, although? It
can get in your mind sometimes, some players feed off it. Some players do really well off it, but some players just get that red mist descend, and when they should be holding an angle, holding a position, they'll just go piling straight in there. And actually, after watching ESC's CT side on Mirage, I kind of think that's what happened.
Could have been maybe a little bit too much of that and not enough of restraint. Vox, you did see a whole team high five going on. Team just getting ready here.
It's kind of a low five.
Low five, really? I guess. Yeah, that's the right word for it. I'm trying to think if there's a better way to explain it. And Pimp looking...
Wake up, Pimp. You're nearly ready to play, mate.
Just, I think every time the camera's on Pimp before a game, he actually has exactly that view, that angle as well, looking like it. I'm wondering who's going to start on what side as well, because that could be very interesting in a game like this. It can be a little bit tricky playing T-side Inferno sometimes, and I think Vox especially I'm not sure Dignitas is one of the teams that they've been really preparing a lot for here. But if they have, they might have been, it's maybe been a little bit easier for them because they might have done research the last time around on Fetish, so they might already have some sort of clue about how Fetish likes to play, and that might sort of help them out here.
I think Navi mouse pads they've got there, isn't it? Vox are using Navi mouse pads. I didn't feel quite glad to catch a glimpse just towards the end there. But these teams, of course, are facing each other. It is the winner bracket final. Team Dignitas already dispatched of ESC. Vox Eminor past 3D Max to the side. We're going to be going into that knife round, and this is for a place in the finals in Katowice. They're going to be joining the likes of CLG, LGA Sports, LGB Sports, I should say, Flipside, Tactics, Titan, and of course Cloud9, who qualified this morning. And this would be another 2-0 for one of these teams. Who will it be? Who will join the likes of Cloud9 and CLG and Flipside, who have all picked up those 2-0s? I'll tell you a lie, it's LGB that got the other 2-0.
Vox almost looked like they had a plan going to the knife round, but it didn't work. But just for a moment, it felt like they had something going on there. The backstab coming in from AZR. So it will be Dignitas getting to start on the CT side. We assume that that's what they're going to choose. I'd actually be quite surprised if that isn't going to be the case. But, you know, I'm always up for a surprise or two. The pistol round, I would expect a very standard pistol round to come out here from the Dignitas team. Non-standard one would be the kind where you end up having a bunch of people over at the B-bomb side early on. You can kind of go for a stack. You only really do that if you have like a good read. So unless Dignitas have like inside information, I expect to see them just run it really casually here.
Well, we'll see how it works out for them. Dignitas did choose the CT side as expected here on Inferno. Get a couple of rounds on the board. It works out well for them.
3 HE grenades and 3 smokes on Dignitas. That's a lot of investment here. I'm wondering if they're going to catch anyone with it. That would be very cool.
Wizards got him. It's Fetish and Kiebu who are over on B. So, not going to get the B push that they were expecting. He isn't going to be A instead. And Sponge just pushing straight through the smoke, straight into CT Arch. They're coming straight around, and that's going to force Nico back. Nico forced back through CT Arches. And this is going to be a quick A push. AZ in place on Grave.
Yeah, it's a good second kill there. Pimp takes the first ace. He follows up on Top Gun. Definitely a very strong player on this particular map here. Getting down, Pimp, grenade comes out, not going to catch anyone. Top Gun finishing off with a double kill, and it's into a 2v3. They need that bomb plant. Top Gun is in charge. And Jax is down in the pit. Ready and waiting. 2v3 right now, and Nico does have the defuse kit, you're right. They've got a reasonable amount of time. That's a great headshot through Top Gun. Now with the triple kill, it's a 1v1. Nico has the kit and he's in sight, trying to see if he can defuse it, but he's actually going to give up on that for a second. He wants to force him out here, and he could have just stuck it. I think that would have been great here.
I don't know if he knows he's got the defuse kit. This is going to be a quick one. Oh! Split second away, but it's Vox that pick up the pistol, and they will take the first T-side victory.
Very, very good stuff. I mean, JKS and also Top Gun. 3 kills to his name, all of them headshots, I believe, and very good start for Vox Seminole. They're going to be excited about that one. Now it's 4 HE grenades on Dignitas. They want to see if they can simply explode the Australian team here, and it's going to be a rubber banana 1-2 raining in. Oh, god damn it. If they had been just a couple of inches further up, that could have been horrible. And they actually will lose a lot of players regardless. As Pimp was also pushing down the middle. Fetish and AZ are left here. 2v2.
They've got the bomb still in banana. AZ just tucked around there. Havoc is going to try and cover out his approach on this one. Fetish needs to get moving. He needs to try and help him out. He's going to come pushing around. That's going to be Havoc picking up the kill now. Fetish is the last man standing. That decoy was tossed up mid. He's going to try and pick up a weapon. Whether he's just going to save it, whether he's going to try and go for the defuse. No, it looks like it's just going to be a save. It's going to be a straightforward back away by Fetish straight in towards Pit. And that's going to keep it hold. So, Vox, well, they pick up the round. They get the bomb plant in, but that was a good eco from Team Dignitas.
Yeah, fairly successful. I mean, the investment is not that great. You invest $1,200 into those 4 grenades, and you get 3 kills for it, and you steal an AK that's worth more than $1,200. So, you know, that's pretty sweet. And because it's only the second round, they're going to get to use that in the third round, and that could make a big difference. We'll see if they can put it into a good spot. Maybe leave it to someone like Pimp or Kebu to get some kills.
It's one of the names I'm going to have to practice on. The Danish pronunciation of Kebu. We went through this one just 2 days ago.
No, doing just fine.
It's all good saying it's slow. It's when I got to say it fast. That's when it's going to go all out the window. But Vox do start things off 2-0 here. It is a good opening for the Australians, who were written off early by a lot of fans, including the odds statisticians, I guess you could say.
the betting community. Look at this, another 4 grenades being purchased, 2 of them rain down. That's so much damage.
Look how low they are.
Nico charging in, USPS in hand, and the spark is going to clear. He's only going to get the 1 kill. Kebu picking up 1 Fetish with a kill. That's the AK still in play. He kept it for himself, and now he's charging it. He's the last man standing. He's going to have to go really quick here. 1v2. He's covering the bomb, but they smoke it off. Smart play from Vox. They're going to get a clean escape here. Very, very close once again.
He's going to push on through, and he might actually catch the back. Oh, he just got around to second mid, just in time. Fetish making his move.
Bomb has been planted.
One holds position there. It's a one-on-one because he's got them split. He's going to have to get caught out, though. That molly will slow things down. That's going to buy time for JKS, who's going to peek just at the right time. Doesn't catch him out, though. Fetish instead keeping his eye on those apartments, expecting him to come leaping around instead. He is ready and waiting, and JKS will get him. It's the third round on the board for Vox, but Dignitas have them rattled a little bit here with those grenade rushes down mid.
Really, really effective style coming out. And the result is maybe not immediately visible, but it will be if Dignitas win this upcoming round, because they will have lost so much money in these two anti-ecos that it's going to be a little bit painful. They're soldiering on, and they're on the less favored side, so I think regardless of what happens here, they're going to be pretty excited about having a 3-0 lead early on here. Nico has the AWP, and they're not quite going to challenge him, just putting a few shots through from T-Ramp.
Is he going to peek? Just wondering, Nico looking around. Holding the angles, doesn't actually land the shot and gets a little caught out. Just a couple of hit points shaved off him. Top Gun working his way in towards the B site, but it's being held fairly well by Fetish. Showing themselves, not exactly hiding like we were talking about Cloud9 earlier on. I think to hide and stick behind those boxes instead. Vox are going to set things up. Smoke from Dignitas on mid, but it looks like Vox are going to push through it.
Look at those pre-planned smokes there. Nico almost getting stuck on the corner, and that's dangerous, but he did pick up Top Gun. Going to fall back into Library, which is also smoked off, so he's just finding nothing but walls of smoke all over the place. Sponge going to pick up AC first. And there it is, Pimp getting one kill, almost a second kill, but Havoc will prevail. And he's going to pick up a kill. AC, oh, look at that! Oh my god, double headshot. Fetish and Nico going down. What a performance here from the Australian player, and it will be down to Kirby 1v3, and I think Dignitas just got rocked. That was a huge performance from him.
Yeah, and they're going to be forced into an eco, I believe, in the next round, because like you said, they invested in those grenades. The previous rounds invested heavily into this round, as you would expect, but hasn't worked for them. Vox seemingly working very well on the T side so far. Kirby just keeping hold of that weapon. Everybody else on Vox will get out clean. As I say that, I'm just wondering if they're dilly-dallying around the Library, but they will get out. And that will be 4-0 now for Vox, and that's just Izadar spinning around.
I don't even know how that's a headshot, but it's really cool. Nico going to be very upset at that. I think Havoc ended up at exactly 1 health at the end of that round. We'll be moving into the 5th one with Kirby, just with the M4. That's all he saved here.
Press the wrong button there. Sorry about coughing over the microphone. For some reason I thought Tab was going to mute my mic. But anyway, Havoc getting peaks, and as we said, a lot of investment from Team Dignitas in those last few rounds. That's going to force them onto these B250s. And Vox will work their way into the site. Sponge. Well, I mean, it should be clean for them. They're just going to walk on in there. Didn't quite catch a glimpse of the head. Everybody just slightly tucked out of position, but I'm not sure if they expected him down in the pit.
Look how close they get to the bomb site before Dignitas even know what's going on here. That's definitely very smooth. Sponge named his AK the Swan. I'm not sure why, but there's probably some reference. We should interview him about that. Fetish will get ACR and ends up falling back here. So they've stolen 1 rifle. They already saved 1 from the last round. So, I mean, that's not too bad here. Get 2 kills and get an additional rifle. I think Dignitas should be happy with this, but not as happy as Vox. They are at 5-0 now, and this is going to be an uphill battle for Dignitas. The Australian team is actually proving very strong, and you can tell once again that they have put in a lot of work on this particular map. I think, and I said back in the day, I said last year, that between DreamHack Winter and Katowice last time, the one team that improved the most was Rock Seminole. Now, sadly, they didn't continue that improvement onto the next major at Cologne, but it was still very, very impressive to see them play that well. So I hope they can continue on here.
Well, 5-0. Remember, yesterday we saw Copenhagen was going down 6-0 against LGB as the opening T side, and Vox looking to mirror that right now. And there we go, though. Nico has the orb. Everybody's invested. Apart from Fetish, who does have armor, actually, on the Dignitas side. And Vox, well, Nico going very aggressive with the orb here. JW style almost going up that. I've had some interesting conversations, actually, with some players here about that style of pushing deep in apartments with the orb, but seemingly, at the moment, it's working out well for Dignitas.
They kill Sponge. He was looking the wrong way, the wrong time up in apartments, trying to see if he can clear that out. And AC was up there to begin with, so pretty good start for Dignitas in that sense. The B defense here is what's become very common. I'm not sure why people stopped fighting for top of banana control on CT side, but they haven't. They're just all holding inside like this. Almost every team that we see, and it's been proven pretty effective.
The teams have certain words for this sort of defense. There's ones that you can't usually say on air, but
let's call it cowardly. Is that like, you know?
That's one way of putting it. It's certainly not the Freiburg style of just peeking around that wall constantly, but instead Vox, they've got the 3-man stack. Flash is going out. This is timed. They're going to rush in. There's the smoke covering off the CT. They're going to work their way inside. Kierbu is ready and waiting. Top Gun will get done down. Havoc comes around the side. JKS does manage to find him. Fetish gets another, but they are going to get into sight. The bomb plant will come through once again from Vox. That's going to be the 6th round running now. And Dignitas is down to 3 members to try and get the retake.
ESL, JKS, last 2 people left here, 2v3. And bomb is ticking, and it's actually going to take for a while before Dignitas get here. So that's working in their favor. Now, Vox can try and play for time here. See if they can just delay the defuse long enough that they're not going to have enough time left, essentially. There are kits playing on Dignitas, but they got to move a little bit quicker than this. They said, going to get the one, going to get the double. Wow. Sprays through, and it's going to be JKS picking up the last one. And Vox, look at that reaction. They're feeling it now, definitely, and they should be 6-0, D-Man. What a start here.
Look at him. I don't think he saw the guy behind. I'm pretty sure he just saw the foot on the fountain, aimed at him, and caught the guy behind. It's one of those chance shots. You never know with these players. I mean, obviously, we see what is slightly different in-game, but wow.
It's collateral damage.
That's one way of putting it, but perfect positioning once again. Nico taking some serious damage there. He's dinked down to 14 health and already backing up 6-0 on Vox. If they were to drop him early on, Fetish, though, is going to be aggressive. Oh, the timing between these as he backs away, gets flashed out. We'll back off from it. We are using the new spec mode here. It is the patch that came out just a couple of days ago. It doesn't fully white us out, so for us and you guys at home, we don't get completely blinded every 5 seconds and miss the action. It is just a simple grey screen now. Gives us chance, and Vox again, they're going to try and draw their attention. It is only 1 man pushing up and towards quad. Havoc will come around. The rest of the team, they're rotating, and by the time that smoke clears out, they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, it actually gets put up really quickly again by Dignitas, which is annoying. Good grenade here. That's going to catch Sponge and Havoc both and do about a collective 60 damage. Then Fetish going to take down ESL over at the other bomb site. And now things are looking a little bit tough for Vox. They got very little time, and they haven't really killed anyone yet, so they need to make a move soon. Pimp going to pick up a kill. AC as well, and this round falling apart for Vox. If they can get into B right now, that'd actually be a big slip up from Dignitas. Kierbu's the one holding, and he should be calling for backup, and he's going to buy time with a flashbang. So all of this is very good stuff. JK is going to get the 1 kill, but the bomb drops. And this should be easy for Dignitas, but it's only going to be their first round. They've got so much work to do. JKS goes down. Kierbu with some good kills at the end and very solid play. But they just lacked an entry flank that round, Vox. They didn't get that 1 kill they needed.
Well, it's identical to the LGB game so far. 6 rounds running for Vox, and finally Team Dignitas get on the board. But Vox have already had a good T side. This is, I mean, anything else after this is a pure bonus right now. Because a 9-6 and 8-7, they are going to be very happy with that. Getting that momentum going. But Team Dignitas, pressure on. They need to start picking up rounds consecutively as quick and as fast as possible. But Vox are going to make it hard for them. Of course, with those 6 rounds running, they've got themselves a hefty bank. They're going to be coming once again fully stacked out. Head armor, AKs, all the grenades they need.
Yeah, Dignitas have been playing, apart from AC up in apartments, they've been playing somewhat slowly. And Nico, once again, is actually going to go really quick into apps, looking down second mid. He misses the shot, though. Could have been a great kill. I think he legged ASR at least that time. Grenade is going to come out as well. And we'll do just a tiny bit of damage here. So early on, Vox a little bit softened up. And look at Pimp. 2 kills in, and that's what they need. Dignitas, they do need Pimp, and everybody else to start stepping it up, because they're very far behind in this game.
Managing to get a couple of shots. There's one cheekily around Cubby. Pimp will find him. We find a second as well. No, JKS will get the shot, but he is the last man standing. And it should be Dignitas getting themselves that 2nd round on the board. Pimp so far got himself the quad or the 4K. I wouldn't want to upset anyone out there. JKS, the last man, with it all to do. Bomb is surely covered off. He surely can't do this. Just pick up that bomb. Is he going to back away? Is he going to go for a save? No, he's going to try and run around to B. He's not really sure. He's got 40 seconds to go. He's questioning himself right now.
I think he wishes someone would just
just peek. Yeah.
There's actually nothing more annoying when you're playing 1v4 like this and they're still playing it super safe and you feel like, come on, like...
Seriously, yeah.
At
Just
least,
challenge me.
Yeah, but obviously this is what Dignitas should do. It's just, it feels bad sometimes. Nico gonna miss that shot and, JKS gets a kill in when he shouldn't have. Nico needs to start connecting. If he gets a bomb plant, that's a big slip up here and finish. He's the captain. He comes and says, look, enough of this. We need to end at some point. So 6 and 2.
Incredible stuff. So they do get themselves a big round, honestly, because that will force, I think, Pistols, a couple of Tech 9s, Deagles from Vox, and then Dignitas.
I do wonder, does anyone lose sleep over the difference between 4-man and quad?
You'd be amazed looking at my Twitter feed.
Man, life must be really hard if that's gonna rattle you.
If that's what people, that's what rattles people. You got to wonder really what's going on in their life. But
I'm sympathizing with that. I feel like that's a challenge. All right, well,
I don't think they realize the origins of quad kill. You know, I don't think a lot of people, looking back to the old days of UT and Quake, but
maybe not. Maybe not.
Anyway, Hazy. That grenade was on point there. Sponge just taking it full on. Top Gun will go down. Pimp with the headshot. And this should be a clean mop-up now. Pimp just going to pop out with that USP. And will get himself the 3rd round on the board.
Good stuff there. Solid grenade on Sponge as well. That's really annoying here. So 6 to 3. Moving into the 10th round straight away. I mean, it's starting to look better for Dignitas, and especially because as a sort of minimum, they're also picking up this round without losing too many people. But you can't really shake the feeling that maybe Vox is just going to pump up with something cool in one of these rounds, and that could be dangerous.
Well, they have got themselves the AKs this time around. B has been working fairly successfully for them. They've dropped the bomb down. Oh, Nico, that's what the danger of pushing up like that. And Sponge just suddenly picks himself up a double. Oh, that incendiary is going to force him back, though. That burned him down. 28 health, but already 2 men to the good for Vox.
That's really good. And that Molotov, even if you're from Australia, that gets a bit hot at the end there.
All the shrimps on the barbie, mate.
Down to 23, but still, what an entrance. That's really magnificent. Unlikely that he would have come out on top. And at best, he could have traded them. So for him to get both those headshots, just very, very cool. And look at now, Dignitas. They're spread so thinly all over the map, basically. Kirby puts up a smoke, but they also heard him running back. So they pretty have a good clue about what's going on. A little bit more info. Havoc going to take down Fetish, and now things are looking disastrous here. Sponge eventually goes down, but it's too late in the game now. Pimp, he's going to have to come up with a miracle here. He's got the M4 in hand, but they're all rushing the other way. Oh no!
Oh, it's the fabled run through A and go straight to B, and that is an open sight now. Pimp, the only man alive. Is he going to try and challenge this? Is he going to try and fight anyone? I think he just wants to hold on to that M4. He's going to go through apartments instead. You can see Vox are already on the hunt. There's 2 members trying to keep him busy. AZR and JKS. Top Gun already heading off to look for him as well. They really want to get this gun away from Pimp.
Yeah, they might be successful. That's essentially a free kill. Out strolling for a walk, just admiring the view, and AZR wasn't going to let him, so 7 to 3. And Dignitas is now going to be very happy for that bank they managed to build up in the last couple of rounds here, because they just spent almost all of it right here. And this is going to be just kind of do or die time. I think 8-7 is like the absolute minimum for Dignitas. Any more rounds for Vox here, and it's going to start to fall apart on a whole new level.
Yeah, Vox has shown a very good T-side so far. Unsurprisingly, Dignitas not going to challenge in apartments this time around. They're going to play it a little bit more safe. Sponge is there once again. The Havoc Lord, according to his AK-47.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, really. Some of these names are really amazing.
Some of them are not exactly PC either, but these are okay.
That's very true. We've seen a couple we might have to skip reading out, but
I've noticed Fetish actually is just using default everything right now. So I wonder if he's got.
He's the last person to do it. Ever since we converted Guardian from Na'Vi into also worrying about skins, Fetish is like the last purist.
The last purist alive.
The last man who hasn't surrendered yet. And I, personal mission to try and see if I can convince him one day.
Force him to open just one box. That's all you need to do. That's how it starts.
Ooh. Just a taste, Fetish.
What could I win? But at the moment, though,
not a big risk.
That is Is that Sponge that's up there? It has been the last 2 times. No, JKS is getting ready. This is going to be a full execute from Vox. Here they go.
Yeah, AC down in pit. Straight headshot range at this point here. Just one clicking. Oh, he gets the headshot in on JKS, but Sponge opening up. Look at that. The AK thundering away, and it's going to be a 4v3. The bomb is down, and AC's in pit, which is somewhat good, but he's also alone. AZR going to pick off Fetish, and now things are looking really bad. Dignitas.
I don't think they know he's there. I think they've completely forgotten he's there. Now Sponge suddenly just chance looks over the side, and they will clean things up. And that's the 8th round on the board already on the T side on Inferno. This is already a very, very good half of Vox Seminole.
Definitely is 8-3. Eco round being forced up here by Dignitas, and they don't have a choice in it either. They're going to go for another 4 grenades. So, I mean, this seems, D-Man, to be just the strat for them. Every time we buy pistols, we also buy these 4 grenades. It's been successful so far, but this time the grenade collision stops AC from putting in his grenade, and that's going to be annoying. AZR picks up the one, sprays away, and he's actually going to pick up the 2nd kill there. Howard not doing too much, but he will pick up the last one of the round, and this time no luck at all for Dignitas. They're going to do very literally nothing. They will have enough to buy, but it's now 9-3.
Wow, what a start for Vox Seminole here. They've already going to be having visions of returning back to Europe in a month's time. Or maybe even sticking around, I don't know. Them flights to Australia are not cheap, that's for sure. Nico gonna peek down that mid, see if he can get anything smoked out straight away. Not gonna happen this time around, and as of yet really hasn't had much success, because for Vox, they've not been using it all, but they've stuck to the AKs the whole time, and they're not going for any of those challenges down mid.
Checking a little bit with the Molotov is Sponge, and the Fetish inside here. Just gonna be waiting, and he's got Kirby with him, so it's the very, very standard setup again. Dignitas aren't willing to try too much to try and see if they can throw Vox off, which also means the Australian team can play it a little bit like they want to, essentially. Like, they're getting the map control, the free space to roam around, and I mean, what, 9 out of 12 rounds they've been successful in, which is a pretty good ratio. 13th round is right now, and we're nearing the end of the first half here, as Vox look like setting up for a B push.
He's looking at peak. That's one out. Dark just hopping around the fountain, moves over to New Box. That's going to be Fetish poking out, though, from first, and they will get one down. They're going to have to call for help, because Kierbu is all on his own in the back there. Sponge already going the bomb plant down in the smoke. Kierbu yet to be found, actually. They're not even looking for him. They don't even care. They're just leaving him in the back there. Oh, that was just dirty. Top Gun catches him with a grenade, but Nico with the AWP has rotated round and into a 3-on-3. Dignitas absolutely need to pick this round up.
Yeah, they have to go for it. Top Gun going to get the one here, and now it's all on Pimp. 1v2. That bomb is ticked for such a long time. It's actually almost impossible here. And you can see him taking up the AWP. He just wants to get out, but Sponge is... Oh, he goes down. He didn't want to let him, but there it is. JKS denying it at the end. And that's 10-3. What a round from Vox Seminole. Very nicely executed, and a very European execute as well. Shows you they're definitely keeping up with the meta game. That idea of smoking off and then planting without clearing the site is bold and a little bit risky, but the payoff was right there.
It worked wonderfully, and now again we see the damage that's been done to Dignitas. Just a deagle for AZ. Couple of farmhouses and Fetish with that swag 7. Let's see if anyone runs into it. Is he gonna hold up? I know where he is, actually. Ordinarily, if you pull out one of those Mag 7s, you run straight to the apartments and start popping heads, but AZ is going to get caught out. It's Sponge once again. He's opening up this site every single time. He is the apartment king right now.
Oh, he absolutely is. I mean, I didn't want to go there, D-Man, but you know, they come from a land down under, and can you hear the thunder? Because I'm hearing it right now, and it's a little bit scary. It's going to be 10 rounds for Vox. They're opening up at the bomb site here, and Nico going to go down as well. Sponge, a force all on his own, picking up those 2 kills, leaving Kambu 1v4. He has just forced to fall back into the bomb site. Can't do anything at this point.
We should point out the noises you start to hear is off the side. I think it's ESC versus 3D Max.
Yeah.
That's the lower bracket, of course. That's just started off, I think it is.
Yeah, loser of that match gets to go home.
It's on Mirage, but looks like, yep, on Mirage. Loser of that will go home. But Vox, 11-3 up. I mean, they really are having an outstanding T-side, and they're just blowing Dignitas out of the water here.
Yeah. honestly shocked by how well they're playing. I did say I had like a slight idea that maybe they would win. I was thinking something really close, like 16-14. This is looking absolutely scary. 11-3 is one hell of a performance here.
If they make this 12, they get the pistol, this is going to look like a dirty score. There's no doubt about it. I'd love to know what the odds were for this one, because Vox are really performing. But oh, look at that. Sponge just skipping past. He doesn't realize there's one up behind him. He's going to throw that molly down. He will get caught out. His pimp that's there. And they finally get themselves a starter. But they lost Kiebu, and that was over on the B site. And that, of course, means that Vox, they're going to make their way over there once again. The rotate is coming out. It is going to be Nico that comes to support Kiebu, but Azadar is making himself a nuisance still. And JKS already picks up one. They're just causing problems all across the map right now. Team Dignitas are basically floundering. They're just trying to find a hole in this attack style that Vox keep doing, but they just keep working their way into sites, and I can't think of a round where they haven't actually got the bomb plant in.
No, it's really, really impressive. And Dignitas, obviously, this being the last round and a half, they have to try and retake it. And they're at even numbers, but they do only have a kit on Fetish, and they're trying to get in here. Fetish looking for the deal shot, and very nearly gets it. Havoc going to take one down, and Fetish gets a parting shot. Havoc closes the round with a triple kill, and that is them not serving up any Vegemite sandwiches, but it's a 12-3 half in favor of Vox Seminole, and that's much better.
They have absolutely stunned Team Dignitas here. And of course, it's the grill. That's why they go for the B site every time. They're just like,
I think we found the explanation.
That's what it is. It's a barbecue, there's a fountain, a bit of water. They're loving it.
There was so much good stuff going on in this game from Vox. Not just the fact that Sponge is apparently just a beast of an entry fragger up in apartments, but they had a lot of really cool set smokes, and they had a really good plan going into this game. They look so well prepared, so it's actually quite a delight to watch. Obviously, from Dignitas' point of view, this is not a lot of fun, because they just beat their Danish rivals, and then they come into this game, and it's a very different experience. That's tough.
It's very tough. Pistols coming out. Let's see whether there's anything fancy. No HEs coming out from Vox, and they're not going to be stacking a site either, so standard defense is going to hold on its own, actually, at B. So choosing to actually stack out A, they're thinking they saw something in mid. There was. Actually, JKS took a lot of damage in mid. That's probably why they were expecting a fast push up there, but instead it was just Fetish looking to peek someone down. Kiebu also moving his way up there still. Dignitas, definitely a slow approach on the pistol, not going to be rushing into this one, and they absolutely need to win this round. There's no doubt about it, no doubt about the pressure that's on them. And Azadar already dinking off and getting AZ down is not going to be the start they wanted.
No, and he gets the smoke off as well. In that position, Dignitas could actually do well to try and rush him down, because even if he puts up the smoke, they can just continue through, and he won't be able to really do much. They're playing a little bit too carefully right now, more than they should have.
I mean, the problem is they don't know that he is the only sole man there, and it's incredible that he did just ding someone down, get the smoke down, and then still nobody rotated to help him. He didn't need it. Like, he's confident over there. Havoc hasn't moved in. Kiebu's holding their attention over on the A side. Had double stacked in pit, actually. Now they're on the rotate. Now Izadar's called in the backup. Nico does manage to get him down. They make their way. Bomb plant going in on just onside grill side. Kiebu will come around. He takes down Top Gun. Havoc, though, through the smoke, through the air. Nico gets dropped. And it is a 2-on-2, a 2-on-3, sorry, make that, because Fetish is hanging in there with just one hit point. He pops around, gets sponged down. Havoc, now the last man standing. He's got all the angles to cover, and he's not going to get any of them, because Fetish makes himself his second kill of the game, and Team Dignitas get themselves a vital pistol start.
Yeah, that is a tiny glimmer of hope. Can't even really call it a silver lining. It's such a thing as a bronze lining instead. It is you want to celebrate when you win that T-side pistol, but for them to come back into this game, I don't know what would have to go wrong for Vox, really. This is a really, really big mountain to climb. They have bottom Act 10 though, so AC's looking for some good eco round frags here. See if he can pick it up. And actually, nobody in Vox has armor, so this Mac 10 could do a lot of damage and a lot of money for him.
I definitely think we're going to see a slow approach from Dignitas almost every round, because they have to be so cautious about losing any unnecessary kills. You can't go rushing into them. It is going to be a B set. There comes the smokes, there goes the nades, and everybody moves in, but Vox are ready.
They've got of stack going on here. 4 people. Nico is kind of like the man testing the bomb site. Gonna pick off 1 kill. He goes down, and maybe they realize there's a stack going on, so they kind of just let Nico go. AC with the MAC-10, only gonna get the 1 kill in. Still looking all right for Dignitas here, but it's a shame they lost the 2 members. Now, luckily, they lost 1 guy with a pistol, 1 guy with a MAC-10, so not the end of the world, but this is big. AZR picking off a kill, making a 2v2, looking for 1 more headshot. 6 bullets left, and he's gonna go down. Sponge couldn't get there in time, but he's got the MAC-10.
Bomb plant is in, just on the outside. Pimp and Fetish. Pimp holding. Should see Sponge. Doesn't give his position away. Sponge gonna try and crab walk his way in. Doesn't matter, Fetish is there. Fetish, by the way, having a much better game than he did previously. Over on that Mirage side, already top fragging actually. Well, not quite top fragging, but he's at the top of the board for Dignitas with those assists and MVPs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it actually seemed like there was a point in time in the first half where Dignitas kind of woke up and they've had a good start to the second half, but it's all been too late at this point. And they need a little bit more out of it. Sponge?
Well, maybe they've got a really solid T-side themselves. We don't know.
It could be, but I don't know. I think this is a lot to ask.
Double nade. Takes down JKS. Of course, no armor on him, so they're doing critical damage.
And I also say, traditionally, the teams that Fetish lead are very, very good CT side. That's like the whole. That's the strength.
That was the strength of Dignitas that became TSM. Yeah.
So that's also why I'm worried here. But you know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, see how far they can push this. It definitely is not over till it's over. That's one of the great things about Counter-Strike, at least. Crossing the minute mark, and they seem to be making their way back towards that B-bomb site, which is really not that heavily defended.
Still just the eco, of course, for Vox. So anything they pick up really is a bonus at the moment. But that 4-man stack moving its way in towards B will once again find Top Gun, the one sole defender, trying his best to hide in and around that fountain. And that will be the rest of Vox being pinned down. AZR just going to creep on through the tunnels, hope he can catch someone out on the back, just make it as expensive as possible. But Kiebu doing his job and covering off Banana side. So 12-6. Vox still with those 12 big rounds on the board. Now we move into the first real buy round for Vox, and we'll see how this works out. Nico picking himself up the orb. This is it. This is the time for Dignitas to shine.
It is going to be really rough, but at the same time, we haven't really seen Vox's CT side Inferno just yet, so maybe there could be something here. Double grenade down Banana, not going to catch anyone. Dignitas saw that coming. The Australian team is also holding a little bit passively. They start to move out here. Molotov going to keep them back momentarily. I'm wondering why they're both moving out. One of them surely should be throwing a flashbang before they go for it. Oh, what? Top Gun!
Well, okay. That happened. You know, these Australians, they like the heat. Just saying, but...
Working on a tan?
I really don't know how to explain that one. He just walked into it and stood there.
Let's put it down to
offering gentleman's
so
agreement,
focused.
maybe just helping out there. But Sponge has found Nico, actually. Sponge pushing down Banana. Got around the backside of him. They're going to know he's there. AZ just sticking around second mid. And they can suddenly see Vox actually on the full rotate, all piling down Banana, all coming around the back of him. AZR is the only man on the site. He's in... not going to catch on towards Kiebu. Kiebu will get him down, and now it is a 2-on-3, but honestly, this is going to be working out still well. If Vox can get anything else from this one, not going to happen now. Now JKS is on his own. This should be Dignitas' round.
Yeah. I've never seen a team do what Vox just did, which is push 3 people like that. Not solely in the round. You can do it early on. That's really common, but 3 people when there's a minute left, very, very interesting.
It seemed like they'd rotated, expecting, because they died to the fire, it rotated to B, and then just went, oh, they've actually gone A, so we just try and run up behind them. I mean, when you've got 6 rounds still spare to play with, but it's still risky. I mean, this is going to be dropped them. They're probably not going to have the cash to do a great deal in the next round. That's going to take it to 8, and suddenly that gap is closing quicker.
If somebody can get like a third-person screenshot of Top Gun standing in the fire, I'd really, really like it if people could...
He's burning, he's burning, he's burning.
So if we can get a screenshot of that, him standing in the fire like that, then add some captions, put it on Reddit somewhere and say, what was he thinking about at that time? Was he thinking about home? You know, what was going on? You know, what's for dinner tonight? If we win this, are we going to go, you know, after party at the bar? What, you know, he must have had something else on his mind at that point. So, you know, give us some feedback on that. JKS, only rifle that he managed to save there, of course. Can't pick up multiple rifles at the end of the round, though. That would be preferable.
Stacking them out, running back with them all. That's what most games do, isn't it? You have to have about 8 guns in your bag.
Yeah.
Kiebu got a couple of tags on towards, I think it was Sponge in the apartments. Fetish. He's actually been holding his position, Fetish, almost every round. He's been dropping into the tunnel, just peeking around. A good top gun is now stacking up with the pistols. One low, one high.
Yeah, this is some dedication. I like this. And it's also like it's not quite an off angle, but it's a little bit weird. You know, you're maybe not quite going to be expecting. If you come around that angle, you're going to be looking towards coils, probably. So a little bit strange. 40 seconds left here. Dignitas playing really worried, it seems like, or at least really defensively. Kiebu, though, opening up on Sponge. Good start here. AC, he trades evenly, but the bomb is making its way back to A, whereas I think Havoc is waiting inside. It's going to be really rough with the USPS.
Well, it's a 4v3. That AK is making its way round with Top Gun. He's about to come around the side. Havoc does get Fetish down, but Pimp responds, gets himself a double. And now Top Gun, the last man standing, does get one down. Nico with that AWP. He's going to peek around the corner at the moment. Kiebu's there. Kiebu getting himself a stack of on the board as well. So 12-8. This is what we talked about when they came rushing round up that midline. He wasn't quite expecting it. See whether Vox taking a little too much for granted maybe on the T side, because that has been 5 rounds running so far for Dignitas on that T side.
Yeah, and I think that's roughly what Vox got in the first half, wasn't it?
They got 6, yeah, it was 6-0, yeah.
All right, so if they get another round in here, Dignitas, we're looking at a sort of somewhat even game in that sense. I don't know. I'm waiting for it, but they've really lost Havoc here. Good opening frag coming in from Fetish.
Aggressive.
Really like he's dragging his team through the mud right now. Him and Pimp have decided that they're not gonna exit the qualifiers quite so soon.
Aggressive stuff from Vox, pushing down Banana.
And if you win here, you're right through. Yeah, that's it.
This is yeah, you straight get that place. Oh, Pimp just off the side. Kiebu pushing up, making a lot of noise in apartments, making it known that they are here, which is why I think we're seeing, yeah, JKS is backing off Banana, expecting actually maybe that they will come back his way. With so much noise being made in apartments, it's generally a bit of a fake. And that could be what they're expecting, but it's not going to be that way. Kiebu once again getting ready to hop on through. There's the flash. They're going to jump in towards the pit. Sponge does manage to look away. Tries to peek across. Hasn't managed to land the shot. Now Fetish will go down. Does manage to get chased. He's going to have to switch to pistol. Not quite enough. Pimp and Kiebu doing work, and JKS, the only man standing. He's going to keep his gun safe. And it's going to be the 9th round for Team Dignitas. They really are on a roll here. That's the 6th round running. And as you said, this is matching Vox Emenor's T-side so far.
I don't know what to say. Apparently Inferno has turned into a terrorist-sided map. And Vox actually had a really cool setup to deal with what just happened. We sometimes call it the triangle of doom, for lack of a better word. But they had a guy in pit, a guy in balcony, and a guy inside site. So if you try and push in through quad or apartments, you're going to run into like a 3-way crossfire, and it can be really hard to deal with. So somewhat shocked that that Dignitas actually ended up coming out on that round. JKS going to save the rifle. Vox, they've lost so many rounds in a row now that the round loss bonus... Wait, what? Oh, they planted close, so one actually died to the bomb there. All right, Dignitas miscalculated.
Yeah, it didn't quite calculate the damage radius. But 12-9, Vox Emenor, after a fantastic T side, have yet to pick up a round on the CTs. And maybe, just maybe, this is going to start having an effect on their confidence. Just 3 rounds difference. And Dignitas so far have looked very good on the attack. And just pistols in hand for Vox, of course, will mean that this could easily be a 10-12 in just a moment.
Nico looking for an opening. And it's good to see that they're not easily giving him one. They don't want to challenge too soon. Molotov there to check the corner, and they have another 2 Molotovs on the Dignitas side. They could try and firebomb the bomb side, or they could continue checking corners. They usually work for either one. If they go for B, that's the one place where the rifle is, and that would obviously be pretty good for Vox. Maybe they could actually steal this round away. That would be big. Looks like Dignitas are setting up for it. Now they're kind of just all going to barrel through the smoke there. Top Gun goes down. Back of sight, JKS. Too much to handle here. He's going to pick up the 1 kill, but he goes down to Pimp. And now there's not a lot the rest can do.
Well, construction's being pushed in. As you say, it's just one single P250 that Sponge has coming around the side. Havoc will get taken down. Kiebu goes on cleanup duty. Sponge just gonna wait this one out. What if he's gonna go try for a sneaky defuse as they exit? They surely won't be so reckless as to allow that to happen. Yeah, Pimp is already looking. Boom. Nico comes around the back and finds him.
I always dream that happens more, and it's happened so few times. I think like 2 times we've seen it.
But it does happen sometimes. It's just that once.
Dupree did it once on Nuke, Flusher did it once on Mirage, and that's it. Those are the only 2 that I can really think of. So I keep an internal list in my mind. It's like a very special scoreboard you have to get on in my head to do that. It's very cool. Now we're going to be moving into the 23rd round, and Dignitas are just 2 rounds away, which actually I am almost speechless because I didn't think this was going to happen at all. I was sure Vox was going to be able to close this out. 3 Molotovs on the T side once again, and
wow.
Gotta be careful.
Top Gun and JKS both taking hits from Nico there, up Banana. And that aggression in their defense is backfiring on them. Now, do bear in mind, Dignitas, if they were even to lose this round, or a round at the moment so far on T, because they've won every single one of them, we are currently 7 rounds running. If they were to lose a round, they've got money for days right now. That wouldn't affect them too much. But if Vox were to lose this round, suddenly you could be looking at a 12-12.
Yeah, that's definitely very true here. I mean, it's 12-3 for the first half, and now we're at 12-10. I don't know. Maybe Fetish is coming up with something new for the terrorist sides. That would be really big.
Or maybe just the aggression. Vox's defense is not working out too well, or they're just not holding him angles well, but they've not once really held the apartments. B-side has been lacking, it seems. And they are 3-man stacked on it right now. Just having a peek, it is the Sponge that's actually rotated round. There's the smoke, covering off the C-tie. Once again, Dignitas moving, but while that's all happening, Kiebu's already making a nuisance of himself over on the A side. Hazy just hitting everything he can at coils. Havoc does manage to get one down, as does JKS. And this is all square, 3-on-3, bomb planted.
JKS almost on life support here. This is going to be a really tough retake from Vox, but at the same time, they kind of need to go for something. They need to make sure that Dignitas are put on hold. Nico with a nice flick there, gets a headshot on Havoc as well. And JKS probably a little bit disheartened to try and see if he can get in here and 1v3 the situation. Best he could do is some really good exit frags, but he's not even going to get a chance to escape himself. They've got him boxed in, and I think he knows it. Fetish goes to look. JKS, is he going to try and run in for the defuse? Actually, there's no time, so he's just trying to take some people with him. He's going to be successful as well. Actually, allows Pip to blow up with the bomb. Might have been the best thing he could have done then, actually.
Yeah, that's going to hit the bank a little bit, but they've still got plenty of money. I mean, they've gone for a full buy, and they've still got, what, 4-5K in hand, 9K on Nico. This is all still very comfortable for them. Vox, meanwhile, you can see, back to pistols, and we talked about how this could be a 12-12, and even on a 12-12, they may have to force. And it's not going to be a full clean pickup. You need a lot of money to get that full collateral. Oh, but that's not what they wanted. Azadar finally does push out the apartments, gets himself a rifle, and we'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, I like the aggressive stacking apartments as well, just trying to deny that. But Dignitas, they do have a lot of Molotovs. I think they should just use some of them to check top Banana. One more left, and they're going to go into the bomb site here. Top Gun up on the box, looking for the kill. Going to get the one. Goes for a second, but he can't find it. Going to end up being put on display on top of that roof, and it's going to be a 3v3 now. Pimp covering bottom Banana, and an easy kill on Havoc again. Havoc had to push through and see if he could help his team out. Otherwise, he'd be useless in the round. So Sponge and AZ are left, and things are looking really tricky for them. This is going to be the equalizing round. It's going to be 12 rounds for Dignitas here, and an overall 9 rounds on the road to come back into this game.
You know, we were talking about earlier on how it was fairly even stuff for Dignitas, just Pimp and Fetish helping his team, but look at Pimp's score right now. He has stepped it up a notch on the T side. He's now up to 25. He's single-handedly broken away and carried his team right now. 12-12 all square. Who would have thought it? T-side clearly is the new thing. And right now, it is 8 rounds running for Dignitas, consecutively picking up round after round. Vox are going for the boost though, over and quad, but
that's good. That's the first time we've seen them do something like a little bit different here. Now, I do still worry about their B-side defense. I wish they would try and change it up more than they currently are. And who is that? Yeah, JKS holding all the way back. He's actually in a really critical. If we just quickly take a look at JKS, we're going to see that he's actually looking, or he was looking up towards the boost over at Woodstacks out on Banana, expecting someone to be there, but not quite catching them. I wish they would go for more aggression top Banana, just a little bit, or try and take bottom of Banana even. They're letting Dignitas, just like Dignitas was the whole map, now Vox is letting Dignitas use the whole map to set up on, and the result is not exactly great.
I wasn't sure if they were going to try for a fake there with everybody piling in and one person taking the bomb into B. Instead, they do decide to bring that bomb back. Smoke's going in towards CT Arch. Dignitas going to make their way up in towards the mid, and they will get one down. That's going to be AZR on that boost. He's working well. He gets 2 down. And Vox suddenly picking up round here. Nico, the last man standing. Got that open hand. He's still got 9k in his bank, so there's no reason to save it. Let's see if he can go for the play, but it looks like he is not going to risk it. He's got 11 seconds on the clock and nothing to be gained. So Vox Eminor get themselves their first CT round, and we talked about how that boost was trying something different, and it worked out well for them.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. I mean, it's actually a lot harder than it seems when you're in the game to come up with something different, because you might not realize as you're playing that you're actually doing more or less the same thing round for round. Like, it feels like, you know, you're trying your best, but it's not quite working out. Do you think it's a mental game, Demon? Do you think they made them, you know, they allowed them to come back 12-12 and they're like, oh, we'll just win out? Yeah. How depressing would that be for Dignitas?
I'm not sure they can toy with them that much. I'd like. It'd be nice to think of, but I'm not sure any team is that confident to toy with them unless it's maybe Fnatic. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of. I mean, how cocky would you have to be to do that?
You'd have to be a little bit nuts.
Yeah. Especially when you're dealing with a major, you know, qualifications. It was funny talking actually backstage. We were talking about the auto sniper at the time, and like, you know, there's an unwritten rule that was saying that, you know, in the American scene, it's just like not played. And then we were discussing it. It was like, yeah, but you know, when it comes to qualifying for a major or just winning a tournament, who the hell cares about that sort of sportsmanship? Yeah. Just go for it. If it works for you, pick it, use it, and win with it. And that's maybe what they're going to have to go with. But 13-12, Vox, 50 seconds on the timer. Dignitas, I wonder if they're just going to go for another B play. It's worked so well for them in the last few rounds.
It really has. The two people up in apps, I would like for one of them to rotate over if they're not going to find a kill here. Look at the timing, 37 seconds left. They might actually just throw a bunch of grenades and then run back to A, because I'm really wondering about these two people here. This is definitely looking like an A push to me.
What's happened recently? I mean, Kiebu has pushed through and he has picked up kills, but look at Sponge. Sponge is already rotating. They know that Dignitas have to make that move. 20 seconds on the timer. Top Gun already finding AZ. Nico does push on through, and it is a fake. They're trying to rotate round, but Vox are in place, and AZR on quad absolutely annihilates them. Havoc gets the shutdown, and now we're starting to hear a little bit of noise back from Vox. 14-12. The crowd very much behind the Aussies as well.
Yeah, and that setup from Dignitas was actually potentially kind of nicely thought out. Having the two people in A apartments was a big tell that it was going to be an A push eventually. If they just had one, that one person would have really tried to rotate in behind for the B push, but this is now interesting. 2 rounds away from a victory here. It's been such a long time coming, but they are back in the driver's seat just a little bit. And the really big thing here is if they win this upcoming round, Dignitas are actually going to be very low on money, and that could be a painful way to lose it. JKS putting out a Molotov, instantly going to be extinguished. Flashbang out as well. Top Gun, 1, then 2, and he's going to go down to Kirby, and JKS will fall as well. So it's a 3v3 retake, and look how quick Havoc is here. The rotation is in, and he's going to get the kill on Fetish, and now it's looking better.
3 on 2, Nico and Kiebu. Kiebu been doing a great job at cleanup duty, coming around the side, gets himself one, doesn't get sponged out, and now it's all on Nico. Dignitas, will they be forced into that eco around the bomb? He just needs to hold the time. He turns around and makes it. Would you believe it? Nico picks up the round for Team Dignitas in a situation he should not have won.
That is potentially a round-winning spray. That is so good. Well, not just round-winning, but game-winning, because they have got one more chance here, Vox. If they don't close this game out right now, Dignitas are going to force them back under Nico, and they could end up taking the game, stealing it right away from under them. There's a lot of pressure on the Australian team right now, and they've been doing incredibly so far, but so has Dignitas. This has turned out to be a very even game. 12-3 for the first half, and we're back at 14-13. It is somewhat unbelievable.
This is not the T-side strategies we're used to seeing on Inferno, that's for sure. You got to think of, some of the pro players that may be watching this and thinking, what is going on with the CT defenses? Dignitas, though, they've been working it really well. It's been B. The B has been the weakness for Vox, no doubt about it. Whether it be just the two-man defense, the strong early aggression they've been showing, or pushing right back. There's Molly's doing a lot of damage once again. Top Gun not taking so low, but he does the damage. JKS gets himself 2 kills as well, and suddenly it's down to a 2-on-3. Fetches and Kiebu, but look at Kiebu once again. He's coming around the back of them. He needs to get there quickly. Fetish is doing what he can around Grill, but Kiebu, he's now in a position where he's away from the site. He manages to get Sponge there. It's suddenly on a 1-on-1. He just needs to hold the time, but he's only got 12 health. AZR.
He's holding the bomb. Kirby has to run.
He's got the defuse.
He's waiting.
He's got it.
Got it.
Oh, wow, the balls of steel. 15-13 now, match point. And that is almost, no, well, it's also championship point effectively for Vox, because they will be going through to the major if they win this next round. And look at Dignitas. We've got Tech9s, we've got Deagles. This is going to be tricky.
Now, I'm not one for pointing too many fingers, but I actually think a lot of that round was down to Fetish. I think they should have been able to coordinate better with Kirby coming in from behind. That was definitely the turning point, because Kirby would have absolutely had that kill, and they would have been in the 2v2. So just a little bit of mistiming, and I do really mean a little bit. We're down to seconds here, and that changes the round and turns it in favor of Vox. Kirby did about as good as he could. 15-13.
Look at that stack. Ready to go. AZR, though, he could just gun them down. He's going to get one. Doesn't get the second. It wasn't quite a clean head pop. That's what he needed. Gerbu pops on down. They do take down Havoc as well. Nico works his way inside. 3-on-3. Vox Eminor for a place in the major. Just here in Katowice in 1 month time. Dignitas, bomb plant down.
Yeah, and Nico spots someone up in apartments. He knows that he's there, so Sponge now has to do pretty well to get this kill here. Nico ready and waiting. He leg shots him, but he doesn't go down. Sponge with the double, and he's going to come in for a little bit more here. Pimp goes down, and there it is. Vox Eminor. They make the next major and global offensive 16-13, and look at that celebration.
My God. I tell you what, they worked hard for it, that's for sure. They were so far ahead. 12-3 was their T-side, and we just thought they were going to run away with it. But no, Dignitas pushed them, and, well, Vox, it actually may do them good. They've got the 2-0, but clearly, if you look at the 3D Max game, you look at this game, they can go back now to Australia and go, okay, while we did great, there's still issues, and we have to work on them, rather than coming through and just blitzing through it and going overconfident into the finals.
Yeah.
They're clearly going to go back home and go, right, okay, let's watch the demos, let's figure out what we got to do, what do we got to change, because, well, they had a great T-side, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. They got tested heavily on that CT side, so a lot of demos to look through and a lot of stuff to cover as well. Really, really impressive performance from them, and they're somewhat excited.
There's a lot of hugging going on right now, Australian flag being waved. We're going to get over to them in just a moment, but what does this mean now? I mean, Dignitas dropped down. They're going to be facing
the winner,
Kaboom.
Yeah, or Kaboom.
They drop into Kaboom's bracket.
Tough, really tough, I think.
Tough match for both. And now I think 3D Max, actually. 3D Max have possibly just won. I'm not too sure. They're already up on their feet as well. So hopefully we'll get the scores on that one. The Aussie shouts coming out as well. Just off the side of us.
The whole room just erupted in like 1 second. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, even 3D Max are looking across and thinking what's going on. Well, I can tell you what's going on. We're going to get an interview, ladies and gentlemen. Machine is with 3D Max, and he said he's with Vox Eminor.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Joining me, of course, is Top Gun and Sponge. Now, this first question I have to ask you, straight off the bat, 12-3 on the half, boys. 12-3 on the half. Can I say what happened?
Look, my CT half was horrible, so I'll let Sponge here discuss what really happened.
We choked.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Yeah, it took us a while to play our own game, and then once we played our own game, we were on top of them. We were making those trades. There's so many rounds there, like when we were retaking sites. It was like 3v3s, we should have won, and then we didn't. So that sucked, but we won in the end, so a win's a win.
Win's a win. So it just started escalating from the kind of mindset of like, we're like 3 rounds away.
I'll tell you what, Steph, why don't you talk about the T half we had?
Well,
exactly.
That's what we should definitely highlight, you're right.
Well, luckily we did have a solid T performance, which allowed us to obviously have some rounds to play with the CT, and at the end we came through. It was close. We wanted to, steamroll them through early in the, second half. So we didn't. Made for a close game. Made better viewing for the spectators. And at the end, top 16 in the world. Well done, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. So that's fantastic. Look, now, you've said already you're through. Next question: how did a team like you? You said you're ready. You're the only Aussie team now. How do you prep for a major like that? I know people at home are wondering, how do Vox prepare for an event like this now?
Lots of hours. That's it. Like, coming here and playing your own game is how you win, in my mind. And if we can play our own game at home and build on our own game and make it better, we can surprise teams and get victories. Otherwise, we can't just play what everybody else does because they've been doing it and they know why they do it. We're just bringing our own style, bringing our own game.
Bringing our own game. Okay, so the last question I need to ask you is, you go into the major now. You guys haven't had the best history at majors. Which teams do you have your eyes on as teams you want to either play against or teams you want to beat or teams you just know that could cause a problem for you?
Anyone really. I think at the stage we're at, especially if we get a chance to come in early and prepare here in Europe for the competition, like we did last time. We'll take on really anyone. There's no particular.
So that's on the cards then. You guys are going to head over to Europe and get some prep in. Wow. Okay.
We can only dream. A lot of us work and have duties. I've got a wife. I don't know if she'll let me. If she's watching, we won. Maybe I'll have to bring her along. But look, yeah. In terms of preparation, we did pretty well this time around. I think we'll stick to the same. This time we'll obviously be more committed. We got what we wanted, which will only amp us up more to put more hours in, and hopefully the community back at home will see. We do have some potential to perhaps get a decent result at least at a international major. So anything
you want to say to that, or he's pretty much summarised it beautifully?
He covered it well. Yeah.
And so to your fans, you go to any forum, anywhere in the CSQ community, you have got fans all around the world. Do you have anything to say to them just because you've got some support everywhere at the moment?
We love you. That's it. We love you. We've set up Snapchat and we're just getting constant photos of people who are in Australia at 2 a.m. in the morning watching us. We got people around the world who love us. There's constant support and it's great. And without that, there's nothing in this game. That's what it's all about, the fans. And yeah, we love you. Thank you very much for all your support.
Awesome. That's Vox Seminole, everyone. And we're going to be going to a very short break, but we have more CS to bring you. So do stay tuned and we'll see you very shortly. Goodbye from us and Vox Seminole.